The phone on the kitchen island buzzed once and fell silent. Gary Reeves glanced at the screen, missed call, Angela, and a voicemail, 14 minutes and 32 seconds long. He pressed play, expecting dead air. Instead, he heard the distant clatter of a coffee shop, then a voice that made his hand freeze.
Angela? Why would she call from a coffee shop and not realize it?
Angela's voice, low and urgent. We need to set a date. The facility near your sister's place. We move him before tax season.
Before tax season, they've planned this around my finances.
Dorothy replied, He's been forgetting little things. I'll tell the doctor about the medication confusion. Angela, it'll be easy, 60-40, like we said. Gary's coffee sat untouched, the liquid gone cold. His hand trembled, but he didn't put the phone down.
They're going to have me declared incompetent. For money.
He saved the file, copied it to a hidden folder on his computer, then sat back, staring at the screen as if it could give him answers.
I can't let them do this. But who would believe a voicemail over a wife's tearful concern?
He pressed replay, this time with a pen in hand. The words landed sharp. Competency evaluation, medication confusion, 60-40 split. Behind the voices, an espresso machine word, a butt dial from Angela's phone, never meant for him.
6 months. She said they've been planning for 6 months.
He scribbled the timeline, the betrayal hardening from shock into a threat he could map.
They've been studying me like a problem, while I was making them dinner.
Then he created 3 backups. A thumb drive, a cloud upload, a disk in a fireproof box. His gaze fell on the wedding photo, Dorothy's hand on his arm, her smile now a lie.
She kissed me on our anniversary and whispered forever while counting my assets.
Gary closed the laptop. The shock was gone, replaced by a cold, patient anger. Gary moved to the kitchen, the morning sun, doing nothing to warm the chill settling in his chest.
That dinner 3 months ago, when Dorothy said I'd left the oven on. She called it an early sign.
He pulled out a worn photo album, flipping to a picture of his first wife.
Sarah would have seen through their act in seconds.
Another memory surfaced. Angela whispering that Stephen never called, while secretly blocking his number from Gary's phone.
She stood in my kitchen and told me my own son was embarrassed by me.
He traced the lies back further. Dorothy's helpful suggestions to see a specialist, the concerned glances.
Every comment about my forgetfulness was a brick in the wall they were building around me.
He slammed the album shut. The anger that had simmered now had a direction.
They think I am an old man who'll just accept it. They don't know me at all.
Gary picked up his phone, scrolled past the voicemail, and typed elder fraud attorney into the search bar. He found a name, Harrison Carter. The call was brief. He scheduled an appointment for the next day.
Tomorrow at 10. All I have to do is keep my mouth shut until then.
He had just tucked the notepad and USB into a drawer when the side door opened. Dorothy, home early.
Gary, I am back early. The event was canceled. Are you still in your pajamas?
Oh, I was just about to change. I got caught up reading. You know how I lose track.
As long as you didn't forget to eat. I brought pastries from that bakery you like.
She's watching me, testing if I am confused. Stay calm.
He excused himself to shower, palming the USB from the drawer as he passed.
Tomorrow, my attorney. Tonight, the hardest acting job of my life.
Gary arrived at the law office early, dressed in his best jacket, the USB drive burning a hole in his pocket. Harrison Carter, a lean man with rimless glasses, met him at the door and led him to a quiet conference room.
You mentioned an urgent family matter on the phone. Tell me everything.
It's better if you just listen.
Carter plugged the drive into his laptop. The room filled with the clatter of the coffee shop. Then Angela's voice.
This is conspiracy to commit fraud and false imprisonment. Unmistakable. We have 2 moves, a preemptive complaint to the Attorney General's office and an annulment petition for fraud. Both can be filed now. If they file a competency petition first, the burden shifts. Time is critical.
And my will? I want Angela removed. My son Stephen should be the beneficiary.
Gary signed the retainer with a steady hand. For the first time in 2 days, the ground felt solid under his feet. Back home, Gary followed Carter's first instruction: document everything. He bought a small voice-activated recorder.
Every meal, every casual conversation, I need it all on tape.
He hid it inside an antique coffee canister, its microphone aimed at the kitchen table. That evening, Dorothy brought home takeout, she said, to save you the trouble.
I am so glad tax season is almost over. Once it passes, we can breathe easier about the finances.
The exact phrase from the voicemail. She's already rehearsing the timing.
He nodded along, asking about her day while mentally counting the seconds of her performance. Later, alone, he transferred the audio to his laptop. Her voice was crisp, damning. He burned 3 DVDs, one for his lawyer, one for a safety deposit box, one to keep.
Now we each have a copy. Let them try to claim I was confused.
Gary bought a prepaid phone and sent a single text to his son. Stephen, we need to talk. It's not what you think. Dad, Stephen replied with a single question mark. Then, tomorrow, Memorial Park, 4 p.m. They met on a bench under bare oak trees. Stephen kept his distance at first, eyes red-rimmed.
Angela said you'd been violent, that you didn't want me near the family anymore.
That's a lie. I never stopped loving you. Show me what she sent.
Dad's losing it, Stephen. He threw a plate at Dorothy. Please don't come by. It'll only agitate him. She sent me pictures of bruises.
Gary stared at the fabricated evidence, his hands trembling not with age, but with the weight of 3 stolen years.
Son, I need your help. They're trying to have me declared incompetent and steal everything.
I've been an idiot. I should have known. What do we do?
By the time they left the park, Stephen wasn't just a son. He was a witness, an ally, and the missing piece Gary had nearly given up on. They found a quiet corner of the park, sitting on a bench as the sun dipped lower, the truth now a raw thing between them.
She started right after Mom passed. Dad's not himself, she'd say. Each call, a new reason to stay away.
I never knew. She was already with Dorothy then, planning everything from the shadows.
Last month she asked if you'd updated the will, said I should protect my interests. I thought she meant from Dorothy.
Gary's jaw tightened. The will, a document he'd written in love, had become the blade they planned to twist.
My birthday is in 2 weeks. I want you there, but don't tell anyone. Arrive after them when the party's underway.
As a witness or backup?
Both. And I'll need something else. Write down everything she told you. Every lie. I'll need it notarized.
I'll do it, whatever it takes to make this right.
The park had emptied, the last light fading. But for the first time in years, father and son stood on the same ground. 2 mornings later, Gary sat at the breakfast table, deliberately letting his hand tremble as he read the paper.
I've been thinking about selling the house after tax time, somewhere smaller, less to manage.
Oh, Gary, that's a wonderful idea. We could look at places near my sister's.
She practically lit up, every word confirming the voicemail's timeline.
She excused herself to make a call, and Gary heard fragments of Angela's name from the hallway. Later that afternoon, Gary's phone buzzed. Harrison Carter's name flashed on the screen.
The complaint is docketed. The AG's office has flagged any competency petition involving your name.
An official spotlight. Now let them try to claim I am confused.
He checked the hidden recorder, its red light still blinking, capturing every rehearsed concern. The stage was set. Dorothy and Angela were moving faster now, and that was exactly what he wanted. At his next meeting with Carter, they sat across a broad desk, the calendar between them.
Your birthday is in 9 days. That's our window. We serve the annulment and the revised will right at your party.
Gary nodded, tapping the date with his finger. The plan was simple. Invite them with smiles, then spring the trap.
They'll expect a celebration, a cake, maybe champagne. They'll be off guard.
Carter slid a document across the desk, the annulment petition, already prepared, requiring only a signature.
The process server will arrive at 7:15 sharp. Don't open the door before then. Stephen arrives as backup.
And my will? I want Angela to hear it read aloud.
Amended and notarized. Angela gets nothing. Stephen is sole beneficiary. She'll receive a copy served with the annulment papers.
That evening, Gary wrote the invitations by hand, each word carefully chosen. Please join me for a quiet birthday dinner. He sealed them with a cold satisfaction. The trap was ready. All he had to do was wait. A day before his birthday, Gary met Stephen in a quiet notary office. The air smelled of toner and old paper.
I still can't believe she'd go this far, lying to me for years.
Believe it. Now, read this carefully. It's a sworn statement of every lie she told you about me.
The document listed each fabricated incident. The plate throwing, the violent episodes, dates and details that never happened.
I am putting my name to this. They could come after me.
They won't get the chance. This affidavit protects us both. It's the truth.
Stephen's hand trembled, but he signed his name with a steady finality.
Tomorrow, I'll be outside your door at 7:15. I won't be late.
Gary sealed the notarized affidavit and the will in a thick courier envelope, the kind that announces legal weight. They parted without a hug. The gravity of the oncoming storm making sentiment impossible. But Stephen's nod said everything. Gary placed the plain white cake on the kitchen island, next to the morning's cold coffee. From the curb, the house looked almost festive. But up close, the banner sagged and the string lights flickered. In the closet, he found a shoebox of old cards. He thumbed through, until one from Angela stopped him cold. The crayon heart, and the words to the best dad felt like a blade against his chest.
She used to draw those hearts crooked. Now she's drawing up papers to lock me away.
He set it on the mantel, a reminder of the love that had curdled into something unrecognizable. He dialed Stephen's number, needing a voice on the other side of this silence.
Dad, I found my old journal. Every time Angela called, I wrote down exactly what she said.
Read me one, son. Remind me why we're doing this.
March 3rd. She said, you locked yourself in the garage and screamed at the neighbors. Pure fiction.
Gary woke before dawn, dressing in a pressed shirt and tie as if for a funeral, not a birthday. In the hallway mirror, he practiced a smile. It felt like borrowed clothing. The doorbell rang at 6 sharp. Dorothy swept in with a bottle of champagne and a smile that never wavered.
Happy birthday, darling. I wanted to get here early to help you set up.
Angela arrived 10 minutes later, her hug stiff, her perfume clashing with the scent of the cake.
Happy birthday, Dad. You look a little tired. Have you been sleeping?
Let me fix you a drink, Gary. It's a celebration. You deserve to relax.
Maybe later. Let's sit first. I want to enjoy this.
They took their seats, the air thick with unspoken scripts. Each smile a calculated move in a game. Only Gary had already won.
Let them think they're guiding the evening. In an hour, they'll be following.
So, Gary, we've been thinking about your future. There's a lovely retirement community near my sister's.
We just want what's best for you, Dad. You've seemed a little less sharp lately.
I appreciate the concern. Actually, I've been talking to a financial advisor about options after tax season.
Dorothy reached into her purse and slid a glossy brochure across the table.
Memory care, that's a big step. I'll have to discuss it with my advisor.
He folded the brochure and tucked it into his pocket, a physical piece of their conspiracy.
Excuse me, I should check on dessert. The cake might need a few minutes. 7:12, 3 minutes until the doorbell. They have no idea.
He stood by the kitchen counter, the brochure heavy in his pocket, listening for the sound of a car pulling up. The simple cake sat on the counter, candles unlit, the quiet moment before the storm. Gary re-entered the dining room carrying the cake, a single candle flickering atop it. His hands did not shake as he set it down.
Oh, let's sing. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Gary. Happy birthday to you.
The song ended. No one clapped. Gary's eyes were open, fixed on the closing hour. He sliced into the cake with a steady hand, the knife hitting the plate with a soft final thud.
Dad, we've been patient, but we need an answer. Have you decided on a living facility? We just want you to be safe.
We've found the perfect place. All it needs is your agreement, and we can move you in before tax season.
I have made my decision, but it depends on some paperwork that should be arriving tonight.
Dorothy's fork stalled mid-air. The word paperwork hung between them like a held breath waiting to release. The doorbell rang. The sound sliced through the room, freezing Dorothy's smile and draining the color from Angela's face.
That will be the paperwork now.
Gary walked to the door without hurry and pulled it open. Two men stood in the yellow porch light.
Right on time. Come in.
Harrison Carter entered first, his briefcase heavy with documents. The process server followed, his eyes sweeping the room.
Dad, what is this? Who are these men?
Gary didn't answer her. He led them toward the dining room, where Dorothy had risen halfway from her seat.
Mrs. Reeves, Miss Reeves. I am Harrison Carter, legal counsel for your father.
The process server stepped forward and placed a manila envelope on the table beside the uneaten cake.
Gary, what have you done? You are making a scene.
I am making sure there's a record, he said, pulling out his phone. There's a conversation you both need to trace.
The voicemail app was already open, the 1432 duration displayed. The play button glowed, waiting. Gary pressed the play button. The distant clatter of a coffee shop filled the room. Then a voice that made Angela freeze. We need to set a date. The facility near your sister's place. We move him before tax season. Angela's own voice, poisoned with greed. Dorothy's voice followed, smooth as poison. He's been forgetting things. I'll tell the doctor, 60-40 like we said.
Turn it off. Dad, turn it off.
She lunged for the phone, but Gary held it high, her own recorded voice still condemning her. He won't remember what's happening. We just need to hurry. The line from Angela hung in the air like a noose. Dorothy's hand darted out, clawing for the phone. Gary stepped back, the device out of reach.
I've heard the whole 14 minutes. That's enough.
The attorney opened his briefcase and withdrew a document marked annulment petition, its stark lettering visible to all.
Dorothy Reeves, you have been served.
Dorothy tore open the envelope, her fingers trembling. The first page bore the seal of the county court and the heading, Annulment Petition, Grounds, Fraud and Conspiracy. The marriage was procured under false pretenses with the intent to defraud the petitioner. The paper began to shake in her grip. Dorothy's face drained of color, then flushed with rage. Harrison Carter produced a second document, the revised will. He placed it on the table with deliberate calm.
You can't cut me out. I am your daughter.
The will has been amended. Your share is 0. Stephen Reeves is the sole beneficiary.
Angela's face crumpled, tears streaking her makeup. The word 0 seemed to echo off the walls. Dorothy stood abruptly, knocking over a wine glass. The red stain bled across the white tablecloth.
The complaint filed with the Attorney General ensures any competency petition will be dismissed immediately.
Both women were cornered by their own words and their own ink. The marriage was dead. The inheritance gone.
You have 30 minutes to pack your personal belongings. I've already called a locksmith.
After everything I've done for you, you'll regret this, Gary.
Further threats could constitute additional fraud and coercion charges. Mrs. Reeves.
It's over. Let's just go.
Angela grabbed her mother's arm, tugging her toward the door. Dorothy stumbled, still clutching the annulment papers. At the threshold, Angela spun and hurled her gift bag against the doorframe. The wrapping tore, a cheap scarf spilling onto the tile. The door slammed behind them. The sound echoed through the silent house, a final punctuation. Gary didn't move. The attorney and server stood quietly, waiting. Outside, a car engine started and faded.
Thank you both. I'll manage from here.
The door closed again, more softly this time. Gary stood alone in the wreckage of his birthday. The house finally quiet. A soft knock came at the side door. Gary knew it was Stephen before he even looked.
Dad, you did it.
Number. We did it.
He pulled Stephen into a tight embrace, the tears he'd held back for weeks, finally spilling onto his son's shoulder. They moved to the living room, stepping around the torn gift bag and the red wine stain on the carpet.
She almost got away with it. The voicemail was a 1 in a million mistake.
Almost. But we're still here. That's what counts.
The uneaten cake sat on the table, its single candle now a cold stub. Gary fetched 2 mugs and the half-empty pot of coffee. They sat in silence for a long time, the quiet not needing any words. The storm had passed.
Happy birthday, Dad. For real, this time.
2 months later, Gary stood in his new kitchen, the morning light pouring through windows that weren't stained by old lies. He unwrapped his favorite mug from a packing box and set it in the cabinet. A small act, but it made the space his. A knock at the door. Stephen arrived holding a small potted plant, its green leaves a promise of growth.
Thought this place could use some life. Where do you want it?
By the window. It'll get the morning sun.
They arranged it on the windowsill, and Gary took a step back, nodding with quiet satisfaction. He picked up a box labeled Family Photos and pulled out a worn frame. His late wife, Sarah, smiling at him from a summer day.
Your mother would have liked this place. Small. Quiet. Good light.
He placed the frame on the mantel, centered it, and let his hand rest there for a moment.
Sunday dinner's here. I'll bring the roast.
That evening, Gary settled onto his small porch, the wooden boards still holding the warmth of the afternoon sun. The front yard was just starting to turn gold in the evening light. It was quiet in a way his old house had never been. The screen door creaked. Stephen stepped out with 2 mugs of coffee, no words needed. They didn't speak of the voicemail or the trial. The evening was too soft for old wounds.
It's a good sunset tonight. The kind your mother used to pull me away from the television to see.
Plenty more where that came from. We'll watch every one we can.
Gary raised his mug in a small private toast. Stephen touched his mug to his father's, the soft clink mixing with the last birdsong. There were no guarantees, no grand promises. Just a quiet man, a good son, and a cottage that finally smelled like home. The sun dipped below the tree line, and the first stars began to show. Gary watched them without having to explain himself. In the end, the only voice that mattered was the one that had always been there, waiting to be heard again.